Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Slicer Network's broadcast of LaPorte men's basketball. With your commentators tonight, Cole Raymond and Isaac Chezem. We're here in Slicer Gym as the LaPorte Slicers take on the Lake Central Indians, and this is to open up conference play for both teams. Cole, what are the coaches and teams' records this year?
Well, Lake Central, after coming off two tough losses to Munster, both by double digits, they're now 6-4, and their head coach is Dave Malishnik, 212 and 144 in his 16th year at Lake Central High. So that's pretty darn good stats right there. And for LaPorte, we're 6-5, coming off a pretty good win against a really solid Lowell team, and we really shut down their best player. And our head coach is Kyle Bench, 23 and 33, and third year at LaPorte High School, really starting to. It's third year to really start changing. Let's start winning.
Yeah, so we know about the Slicers, but Cole, let's get to know about these Indians tonight. What kind of team is Lake Central?
Well, the first thing is from our first game of the season we did with Blake Wesley. They're not like them, but they have Nick Anderson. He's a guard forward. He averages over 25 points per game, high-level scorer, can really do it all. He can jump out of the gym. He can really do it all, standing at 6'2". And if you ever watch college basketball, Notre Dame Fighting Irish is a really good team to describe Lake Central. They don't really turn the ball over. They hit open shots. They push when they do. They really do everything right. And that's what makes Lake Central a really good basketball team.
Yeah, and Anderson, we really have to watch out for him. He set a program record last year from shooting 48% from behind the arc as a junior. So, and he's not the only threat behind the arc that we have to worry about. With Kyle Bloom, another senior, he stands at 6'4", shooting 44% last year from three-point range. And this is a pretty good program that we're facing tonight. Coach Malishnik has produced two professional basketball players within the last decade, one being Glenn Robinson III, 2017 NBA Slam Dunk Contest winner and currently plays for the Golden State Warriors. The other being Tyler Weidman, who just 2 years finished his senior year at Butler University. And he's missing out on a lot right now for Butler because they're sixth in the country, number 4 in the net rankings, best they've ever been. He's really missing out on a lot, but we can tell that Coach Malishnik has really produced a lot of talent and a lot of winners, which we can hopefully see tonight through Nick Anderson, number 0. Jerseys tonight are all white homes for the Slicers and all blue for the Indians. And tonight is also a special night. It's senior night here in Slicer Gym.
Really good outing for LaPorte. Got a lot of people here. The student section's pretty packed gym for what it's been all year. Really good showing for the seniors, and the 2020 class really has done something special for LaPorte. I don't think we'll ever forget them.
And here we have the choir coming onto the court to perform the national anthem. Now here is the moment of silence to begin this basketball game. Tonight is senior night here at LaPorte High School. So the starting lineup will be changed a bit, including Grant at large moving out.
And as well, Ethan Nasowski due to senior night.
And here starting for the Indians is number 44, Nate Oakley.
Kyle Plum, number 40, elite shooter.
And number 33, Ami Katra, standing at 6'6", starting. Mark Maluznik starting, number 30. There's Nick Anderson, number 0, starting.
Averaging 25 a game. Parental score, you'll see him on display tonight.
Yeah, if he's open, he's going to shoot it.
Yeah.
And now your LaPorte Slicers. There's Mason Schroeder, number 40, 6'4". Grant Gresham coming into the game.
Look for some fireworks tonight, man. He can get up and jump out of the gym.
And defensive specialist Micah Spat coming in with the energy LaPorte will need.
Plays with so much emotion. You got to love it.
There's Carson Crass, number 22.
3-year starting point guard. We need to see him tonight if LaPorte wants to win.
Finally, Garrett out large.
Big man on campus,
24.
can flat out shoot the basketball. So if LaPorte has any shot to win, Garrett out large has to have a Garrett out large type of game. And I don't know about you, Isaac, but this game, I want it to be a barn burner. I want it to be 95-90. 90, hopefully go in the Slicers, but you never know. It's going to be a super hype game. I really just want to see a good basketball game.
Yeah, the Slicers are definitely going to have to push it with the offense efficiency of the Indians. Jumping the ball is Grant Gresham for LaPorte and Ami Katra, number 33, for the Indians. And it's getting loud here in Slicer Gym to start the night.
It's one of the loudest I've heard this gym in a while.
A lot of fans here.
Great sign for the LaPorte Slicers.
Ball's in the air, Gresham tips it back. And that's Spat who hands it off to Crass.
I don't think Gresham's lost a tip all year. Like I said, he's a high flyer, can jump out of the gym. It's going to be a special night.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be bending the iron tonight. That's Garrett who lets it loose. And for a 3 in the corner.
Last game, he struggled from three-pointer. He comes out, buries a 3. I love the confidence and love the shot.
And that's Maluznik bringing it up. And Anderson releases it but can't get it.
Rare miss for a 48% free throw shooter. 48% three-point shooter, I'm sorry.
And that's taken out of bounds by number 40. Kyle Bloom who hits Katra.
Close to a 5-second call.
Yeah, very close. Good coverage by the Slicers. Anderson. They're really trying to keep it around the arc tonight, it looks like. And that's Anderson who lets it fly, but he's short. Gets the rebound, fouled on the way up. Kyle Bloom draws the foul. And we'll go to the line.
Kyle Bloom, also an excellent three-point shooter. I mean, the two best Lake Central three-point shooters are 0 for 2 tonight, so for the Slicers, that's got to be a good sign. I mean, even this early in the game, has to be a good sign.
And that was a foul on Micah Spat.
First free throw good for Kyle Plum. I'm sorry.
He misses a second, fighting for the ball. Passes around. Anderson goes up and lays it in.
Really smooth right there by Nick Anderson. Benj already looks on the sideline. I assume Mason Schroeder is going to get pulled, and they're going to bring in their sophomore, Grant at large.
That's Mason Schroeder with the ball in his hands. Crass trying to penetrate, baseline. Kicks Gresham.
Trying to get LaPorte, trying to get an offense. Garrett at large going isolation.
And he takes it baseline, goes up, draws the foul, and gets it.
And won by Garrett at large. He's got 5 tonight. This could be a high-scoring game for him.
Now he steps to the line for an old-fashioned three-point play.
I love how Garrett at large came out and he's clicking on all cylinders. Senior night, I mean, he's never going to have this again, LaPorte Gym. I mean, there's more games to come, but senior night, he just comes out with a different little breed in him, and I love it.
And Grant at large just checked in for Mason Schroeder.
Garrett at large has 6 points in the first minute 30 in this ball game. Could be a high-scoring game for him.
Malusnik trying to drive, loses it, and it's out on Gresham.
Right through his hands. LaPorte's got to have it. Little things like that. I mean, that's determines the game.
That's Indians' ball. Malusnik taking it out of bounds. Bloom has the ball in his hands.
Lake Central getting into their offense.
Anderson shoots. No good again.
For Lake Central, you still have to be happy with that shot because I'm going to say 5 out of 10 times Nick Anderson's going to hit that shot.
Yeah, and he's, what, 0 for 3?
Over 2, I
On
believe.
the arc. Large went up, couldn't get it. Gresham goes up with the rebound and finishes the play.
Grant Gresham, like I said, those hops are really playing a key role in LaPorte's victory tonight. Great start for the Slicers.
Bloom drives in, goes up, and that's a charge by the Slicers. That's really something that's rooted in this program that Coach Benj has really implemented. They love to see those charges. Really gets the crowd going and brings up the motivation.
Micah appears to be going to the trainer. Hopefully he will be okay.
Garrett passes in between the lane to Grant for the bucket. Wow, that was a tough pass through the lane. He just thread the needle right through there.
I mean, the brother chemistry. I mean, it's got to help. They've been playing with each other forever.
Yeah. Anderson has the ball.
Lake Central had that.
He drives in, goes up, doesn't get the bucket. And that's a foul on the way up. Nate Oakley drew that foul up.
Silly mistakes right there by LaPorte. Garrett at large really has to stay out of foul trouble in this game if LaPorte wants any chance to win. Like in the past junior year, he was kind of struggling from the foul line.
Oakley makes the first. And Swish is the second.
Lake Central 3 for 4 on free throws. Really a steady team. LaPorte trying to get into some ball movement. Looks for a play for Garrett at large. It's not open. Bench yelling out flare.
Crass drives in, gets it poked away, and change of possession.
Looks like he got fouled on the play, but the ref didn't see it. Lake Central ball. Coach Benj appears to be mad at Carson, wondering where he's going on that play.
And they tried to feed it in the post.
Great defense by LaPorte.
To Katra, but
lob!
Great layup by Grant Gresham.
Transition buckets for LaPorte, really helping them out. Really smart play and really shows experience by Carson Crass throwing the.
And we see a replay there of Grant Gresham getting up to lay that one in.
I mean, you would love a dunk, obviously, but I mean, layup and dunk, same thing. So I mean, you got to be pleased.
course, we like to see that iron stretched out a bit by Grant Gresham, but we're sure to see many more dunks from tonight's game. And that's a timeout. Slicers coming back on the court. And there's the pep band who's with us for tonight's game for the special occasion of senior night.
Pep band on the floor level. Usually they're up there in the balcony, but now little senior night, little something new. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that volume really adds something. A lot of energy. Here is the Indians trying to go up as Anderson. He gets a tough shot.
That's Nick Anderson. LaPorte throws a double team, and he just goes over the top, and he's scoring. He's got 4 points for Nick Anderson.
Grass with the ball in his hands. Garrett out large coming around. Couldn't get quite open. Crass tries to penetrate. Tries to go up strong. Draws the foul.
Pretty solid move by Carson Crass. Saw nothing, so he decided to take it himself. 2 foul shots.
And there
Strong
we see a
move.
replay. The strength and determination of Carson Crass there, trying to get a bucket over guys a little bit bigger than him. That shows he has grit and determination. And he makes the first.
Carson Crass has really been working on his free throw shooting. I mean, I'm not going to say he's struggling, but against Riley, he missed a couple big ones. So hitting Carson get early, build the confidence up. You got to like it for late game.
And he makes the second as well.
Smooth as silk.
And for the Indians, number 25, Kyle Nichols has just checked into the game. Edwards brought it up. They're working around, trying to cut, get somewhere. Patra with the ball. He hits Edwards, who tries to kick it back out, but stolen by Osowski, who's bringing it down. Really pushing it tonight. And
Garrett out large was nice pass by Crass.
goes up and gets an easy right-handed layup.
Great time by Carson Crass. It was beautiful. Garrett, they threw the double team at him. Carson looked down low. Grant out large, wide open.
Yeah, the
Easy
Indians
two.
were caught sleeping, and Grant made him pay. Here's Oakley going up.
Grant out large showing off his hops. Gotta love it.
Yeah, securing the board there. Crass goes up for a big shot.
Nice off the glass. Carson Crass has 4 points. Really hasn't been our go-to guy scorer, but has 4 tonight. Gotta love it. Coach Ben has to be excited about that.
Indians trying to get something.
Nick Anderson out of the game with early 2 fouls. Gonna rely on other players.
That's a board by Kyle Bloom.
Kyle Ben just shouting. We gotta box out.
Indians are certainly taking their time when they have the ball. That's Edwards dribbling around. There's a lot hopping, skipping around the arc. Launching it, missed it by Katra. But the Slicers secure the rebound.
Grass, with his 3-year experience, slows the ball down. Smart play. I don't know if he would have did that sophomore year, but slow the ball down. Gotta love it from the senior.
And there's a foul on the Slicers.
Grant out large just 2 hands shoved him to the ground. Looking for the ref, might not see it, but Grant out large, he's just too powerful. Like, he pushes people around down low.
And because of his foul, Mason Schroeder checks into the game. And so does Zach Bragg. Lozenik bringing it up the court. Tipped away by Crass, who's pushing it, really pushing it, and fouled in transition.
Grass with his eyes up, looking for, he had Osowski and Gresham, but the defender's close. He went to the basket, got a foul.
And there's a replay. Crass really pushing it down the floor and is fouled.
When LaPorte goes this formation, they might throw a lob. They were looking for it. They're just going to throw it out to Zach Bragg.
And Bragg hands it off to Crass, who drives in. Kicks it out to Osowski, who launches it. In and out, everywhere but in.
Love the effort for LaPorte Slicers, Zach Brett, Grant Gresham.
And that's Micah Spat checking into the game for Carson Crass.
For Coach Benj, we have to be very pleased with, 18-7 on a solid team that can really score the basketball. So, really a good effort and good start of a game for the LaPorte Slicers. And I'm sure Coach Bench has to be pleased. Lake Central trying to go with some down action. Nothing is there. Fort really playing solid defense. You gotta love this. Gotta love the heart.
And it's launched by the Indians, and they get their own rebound. Weber drives in, lays it up, and it's good.
Great defensive play. Is just we just let an offensive rebound happen. That's little things. That's why Lake Central is such a steady team.
And that's Osowski bringing it up the court. We see a 2-3 zone from the Indians. They're at the
something they like to do. LaPorte running it down.
They try to feed Mason Schroeder in the post, and he's having some trouble with it. Gresham gets the ball.
Get it.
He goes up, and the ball can't fall in.
Gresham just simply ran over the Lake Central guy. Unfortunately, he can't get the bucket.
And there's there's a replay.
Grant Gresham trying to go do what Grant Gresham does. That's bully people.
Yeah, finish the play that others couldn't. So that's the end of the first quarter. Slicers lead 18-9 here in Slicer Gym. Back here to start the second quarter. Both teams on the court.
Garrett at large after getting to a really good start. LaPorte really, he hasn't touched the ball. I know Lake Central's game plan was to do that.
And here's the start of the second.
Lake Central opens up with the ball.
Clayton is fed down low. He goes up, draws the foul in, gets the bucket.
Silly foul by Ethan Osowski. Nice replay of Ethan jumping for joy, and Jaden Clayton with the bucket.
He's at the line and makes it for a three-point play.
Lake Central, 4 out of their 12 points, 25% of the points have come from the foul line. LaPorte's got to sit down, play defense. Don't let Lake Central get into the game with foul shots.
And they feed it down low to Grant at large, who puts it up. Gresham gets the board, goes up with a no-call foul. And the Indians are pushing it. Go up is Nick Anderson, who can't finish. And Gresham swats it away, but the referees call a foul.
It's one of those possessions. LaPorte has a good replay right here. Nick Anderson missing. Grant Gresham trying, but ends up fouling him on the block attempt. Resulting in Jaden Clayton going back to the foul line. Jaden Clayton has 3 points in this outing.
And he makes the first.
Good, nice close up for Jaden Clayton.
And he makes the second as well. Crass bringing the ball up.
Lake Central 6 for 7 from the foul line.
And we have the usual starting lineup back on the court. Osowski launches it, and it rolls out.
Sowski
Anderson passes it up. Clayton shoots it and sinks it. And Coach Kyle Bench is forced to call a timeout after
Jaden Clayton has 7 points
change
as
of
well.
events. And that cuts the Slicers' lead to 2, being 18-16 with the Slicers timeout. We'll be back with you shortly.
And I love the close-up shot of Coach Bench, really challenging his guys to play tough. I mean, really let them back into the game. It's 18-16 now after having a 9-point lead. So Coach Bench really challenging his guys. You got to play harder, consistently play harder.
Like you said, Cole, playing tough, and because of that, Micah Spatz put back into the game. The definition of tough for the Slicers.
Dave Milosnik for Lake Central has to love where he's at right now. After Nick Anderson only has 4 points, I mean, he's kind of struggling from the floor, but he's got to love how his guys are playing effort. And he's got to love Jaden Clayton's effort. Really hasn't been their top scorer, but really scoring tonight.
Spat with the ball, hits Crass, who feeds it into Gresham, goes up, and gets an easy layup.
Gresham's just too big right now. Grant Gresham, number 32, has 4 points on the night. Micah Spat on Nick Anderson really has been a non-factor in tonight's game.
Anderson trying to spin, goes up, and gets a bucket.
As soon as I say it, he goes, he must have heard me.
And the Indians continuing their 2-3 zone to try to take away that post feed, which the Slicers really rely on.
I mean, they might swinging out Garrett out large here. Be ready for him to hit a shot. Nice
tries
pass.
to penetrate. Grant out large goes up and gets the foul. Foul in a bucket for Grant out large. And there's a replay of Grant going up strong, getting the bucket.
He's a big boy. I mean, Lake Central really has no answers for him down low. I mean, let's be honest, not a lot of teams have an answer for Grant out large, the sophomore.
And he sinks the shot to make it a 3-point play.
Grant out large,
Larsenik.
unofficially 7 points for the game. LaPorte recovers well on Garrett Large's steal attempt.
And Anderson goes up and he gets another bucket.
That's just a tough shot by a veteran, Nick Anderson, really showing off his perennial scoring skills tonight.
Here the Slicers still trying to beat this 2-3 zone with penetration.
It's kind of tough for LaPorte because usually, yeah, there goes Ethan Asasi. Garrett
launches it from the volleyball line.
Garrett's perfect shooting tonight. If I was Coach Bench, I would be getting him the rock. Garrett out large going to double digits with 10 points.
Halfway through the second, Anderson launches it
Nick
with a
Anderson
hand in his face.
is
Nothing
just
but
giving
nylon.
LaPorte so much trouble right now.
And that is a great foul that Crass was able to draw from Anderson, who's really
And I
starting to
believe that
warm
is
up.
3 fouls. If that's on Nick Anderson. And that is 3 fouls. Huge loss for Lake Central. I mean, he probably won't come in until the third quarter.
And that puts the starter, Nate Oakley, back in.
Nick Anderson was just getting his rhythm going.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
getting his rhythm going. And now he's not going to say, now he has to go sit on the bench. And look at him right now. He's
Garrett launches it again, bricks it.
heat check.
Milosinic bringing it up quickly. Katra fires it, can't get it to go. Crass lets that one go to keep the possession for the Slicers.
Lake Central is really shining in the second quarter as of this game.
that's a travel called on Carson Kratz.
Silly turnovers like that. If LaPorte wants any chance to win this game, every possession counts the entire game. And that's what LaPorte needs. You got to be steady with the ball. I mean, silly turnovers like that from 3-year starting point guard should really never happen.
Yeah, it's a one-possession game. It's really been locked up by the Indians. And that change of possessions you can't allow at this point in the game.
Lake Central trying to go to their big down low.
Oakley's trying to feel his way to the basket, and he does. Draw a foul.
Nice move, nice little drop step. Unfortunately, can't get that to go. And as you see the replay, Grant Large fooled on that one. Good fake one way, and then a nice drop step. Fortunately, can't finish.
Yeah, he really got where he wanted to go down there. And he doesn't make the first.
Misses the first. Nate Oakley.
And Mason Schroeder checks in for Grant Large.
Grant Large has 2 fouls.
And Oakley can't make the second either.
Bad miss by Lake Central.
Gresham.
I think LaPorte needs to get in their offense. Lot too many standing around. I think Coach Ben thinks the same thing. LaPorte trying to set up play. I don't really know what they're doing right now.
No, they're just passing around the arc. There we go. There's some penetration. Kicks it back out to Osowski, who launches it. Can't get it, and that's a bucket.
Ethan's 0 for 3 tonight.
And it's lost. Kratz launches it up to Garrett.
Lob!
Oh!
Ben's just infuriated right now.
As that was an easy layup for Garrett, but he chose to toss off the backboard, hoping for a dunk by Gresham. And that certainly riled the crowd up here.
Lake Central just being patient, being a steady ball club. That should be LaPorte.
Tipped away by Kratz. Indians ball.
I thought it went off Kyle Plum, but apparently not. Ref saw it differently.
And Zach Bragg checks in for Garrett Large.
Zach Bragg, he really hasn't seen much playing time. I mean, next year he'll be a senior. Hopefully he can contribute well to the LaPorte Slicers.
Clayton trying to fumble the ball there.
Lake Central looking. Their typical motion offense, just keep moving, keep moving. LaPorte just got to play steady defense. Jerry Edwards trying to get something. Gets an open look.
By Bloom.
Almost missed it.
Schroeder came up with a board, but it's touched by the Indians, making it a jump ball. Possession Slicers. And the score is still 26-23 here. There's a scoreless few minutes here in the game.
Grass slowly bringing the ball up. Looking down low to their post, Mason Schroeder on the high block.
Osowski feeds Schroeder down low. He kicks it back to Osowski. Tries to drive baseline. Kratz tries to get somewhere.
Nice dime.
Schroeder goes up and draws the foul.
That was a great pass by Carson Kratz. Hopefully Mason Schroeder can knock down these free throws.
And there's a replay we see. Carson Kratz.
No look dime. Great
Yeah.
pass by the third-year starting point guard, number 22, Carson Kratz.
Passed across the lane in a 2-3 zone. That's impressive. And Schroeder misses the first one.
Schroeder misses everything on that one. Hopefully he can regroup and knock this one down for his first point of the game.
And it bounces out. Zach Bragg gets his rebound tipped away for the Indians to claim the
Good effort by
possession.
Zach Brad, just can't finish the board.
Edwards bringing the ball up. Clayton. They're really just tossing it around the arc tonight.
I mean, with Nick Anderson out of the lineup, they kind of want to run this clock down. I mean, you can't blame them.
And that's a foul thrown by Nate Oakley.
Nate Oakley, I'm unsure where he was going, but unfortunately got bailed out with a foul.
Here's a replay of that.
Going in three
up.
defenders for LaPorte.
And that was the second foul for Grant Gresham. Oakley sinks the first.
Nate Oakley with his third point of the game.
And that's Micah Spat checking into the game for Grant Gresham. And Oakley makes his two.
Nate Oakley, after struggling from the foul line early, was bounced back and was 2 for 2 on that one.
Passing around the arc, trying to get an open look. Krass picks up his dribble, has to hit Bragg. Schroeder with the ball. Bragg launches it, too strong. Wasowski goes up, after he somehow got the rebound and drew the foul.
Good rebound right there by Ethan Wasowski, number 12.
Yeah, this 2-3 zone that the Indians have put on the Slicers has really slowed their game down.
Yeah, they've really shut them down in the second quarter here. Hopefully LaPorte can go to the locker room and try to draw some plays up and let's knock this 2-3 zone out of the park.
Wasowski makes the first.
Ethan Wasowski tallies for his first point of the game. Hopefully he starts getting in the rhythm, starts knocking down some shots, because we really need him big, because he's really, besides Garrett, our only shooter we really got.
And he misses the first. Contra with the rebound.
Got to have these simple free throws. Got to make them.
Edwards bringing the ball up the court.
Great shot, Jerry Edwards, right there.
About 40 seconds left in the first half. You see the Indians just trying to hold the ball, get that last shot of the half.
Coach Malishnik has to be really proud of his guys after being down 9-18 in the first quarter. Really bounced back, and now they only trail 5-2. And without Nick Anderson being in the game in the last 5 minutes, really shut down the Slicers on defense.
Ten seconds left in this quarter. Edwards drives, kicks it to Weber, who shoots it. He can't get it to go. And that's the end of the first half. We'll be back with you shortly. You're watching Slicer Network. Back here with you on Slicer Network. Cole, what did the numbers look like in that first half?
Well, leading the way for the Lake Central Indians, it was Nick Anderson, 11 points per game, 11 tonight. Jaden Clayton followed with 7. Nate Oakley had 4. Graham Weber had 2, and Kyle Plum chipped in 1. And for LaPorte, after a flaming hot start, Garrett At-Large is leading the way with 10. Grant At-Large is leading the way with second in scoring. The At-Large brothers with 7. Grant Gresham has 3, Carson Krass has 4, and Ethan Zowski has chipped in a free throw with 1 point.
The Slicers really lost a lot of momentum in that first half with Garrett At-Large getting pulled out of the game for trying to loop it off the glass for Gresham dunk.
And almost like, when you got to think about it, it was kind of unselfish basketball, first of all. I mean, first of all, you threw it off the backboard, and I'm unsure why Bench was getting mad. And yeah, I'm going to go there. He said, Coach Bench, Garrett At-Large was trying to create a, see him right now talking, he was just trying to create a new, hype atmosphere. Because if LaPorte does that, we might have went on a 10-0 run, get this gym amped up, because it's really been silenced lately. So if Garrett At-Large, they throw that down, I mean, Grant Gresham got to catch the ball and throw it in. I mean, this place could have electrified. So, I mean, you dislike it from a perspective just to score a layup, but at the time, I mean, might as well throw it. That's where I'm coming from.
And this is, as we mentioned earlier, the first conference game for both teams this year. And Lake Central Indians and LaPorte Slicers do have a history. The most notable meeting in recent history was during the Slicers' last sectional run in 2014, when notable players such as Gay Jott and Josh Fleming were stopped by the Lake Central Indians 70-60 in regional play.
And I went to that game as I think a young 4th grader I was. And I mean, that was the game where I just looked and I was like, I want to be doing that someday. And obviously things change, but I mean, it's just a different outcome for LaPorte Lake Central basketball. It kind of has a little rivalry in it just because of past history. I mean, losing in the opening round of regionals, and we really thought we had a shot. I mean, overall, I mean, we played really good that game. It was just we came up too short. And I mean, it really came down to, I mean, LaPorte, Josh Fleming had kind of an off night. I mean, Blake Arnett had 18 points, which is astonishing. And it really came down to Jake Wadding doing Jake Wadding things almost. And that's what he did.
Last year, in more recent history, though, the Slicers were victorious at Lake Central, winning 53-42. However, Nick Anderson, currently a senior for the Indians, did not play for the Indians due to a concussion.
Yeah, and they had 2 other seniors that sit the bench. And interestingly enough, that was Coach Bench's first conference win as a LaPorte Slicer. So, I mean, in that locker room, it was pretty hype afterwards. And, I mean, they really moved on. And, how the season LaPorte had, we were 3-0 in the conference after that game. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it could be like last year, but it could just bring that same tone, you know? You know what I'm talking about? And that could be really cool if LaPorte can just gut this game out. I mean, we're not playing exceptional. I don't think Lake Central's playing exceptional, but we just gotta gut this game out. I mean, this is a big win for LaPorte, and I think LaPorte needs it. LaPorte really wants this if they want to kind of change the season.
Yeah, this is a tough conference, one of the toughest in Indiana. So you definitely have to get a win when you can, especially with a close one-possession game like this at the half.
And there's not really there's no weak teams in doing that conference. If you every game DAC match, it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, there's some type of rivalry in it. So I mean, hopefully LaPorte can win, and hopefully it's a great second half.
Speaking of the second half, starting it off are the Indians. Bringing it up. Anderson back in the game with his few fouls that he's acquired.
Oh, wide
they
open
hit down
look.
low to Oakley, who goes up for a bucket.
Caught Grant Gresham sleeping on that one.
Yeah, that block was wide open for him to get his feet on.
Nate Oakley telling for his 6th point of the game.
They hit Garrett At-Large, who's back in the game.
Good move.
He goes in and draws the foul.
Get At-Large, really exceptional from the foul line. We get a chance at 2 free throws in this one.
Makes the first. And that's Jaden Clayton coming into the game for Kyle Bloom. We saw Clayton a few times in the first half. Although he didn't start, he definitely contributed.
With 7 points off the bench, so a really solid game when Nick Anderson was sitting.
And Garrett misses the first Indians rebound. Milosinick bringing it up the court. Oakley feeds it down low.
Caught Grant Gresham sleeping again.
And Katra couldn't finish it with a wide open right-handed layup.
Really a big break for LaPorte in that one.
Crass passing it around.
Getting some good ball movement. Lob
it up to
hey!
Gresham for the slam. Warming up that iron tonight.
Grant Gresham just jumped out of the gym for a great play call for a lob. Big time excitement. Hopefully this rally up the crowd.
Katra with the ball, dribbling around.
Kind of silence for LaPorte stands. I mean, a lob play and just really it just feels like there was no energy in that play. So hopefully LaPorte can get LaPorte student section, LaPorte fans can
You'd
get
have
hype.
to think they would miss that. That was something. And that's Katra with the ball again. Feeds it down to Oakley. Goes up strong. Can't finish it, but he gets his own rebound. Goes up again for a right-handed layup.
Last 3 possessions, Lake Central has cut right down the paint and scored. So, or 2 out of the 3 possessions.
And that's Garrett out large who goes up. Can't draw the foul. Change of possessions.
I would like if Garrett went to that mid-range there. I don't know, like the layup was kind of uncoordinated. Go to that mid-range. That's Garrett's game, I think. Use a glass. You're a high-level scorer. Let's see it.
And here the Slicers are trying to take away the post game that the Indians have been providing. Just what the Lake Central Indians did to them in the first half. Trying to create that 2-3 zone.
Oh.
And they call a foul on the Slicers here as Osowski tried to pick the ball
Reaching
away.
on Grant at large. That's his third foul. That's his 3rd foul. So I don't know if Coach Bench subbing in Zach Bragg. I don't know if they'll go, and they will. No, they won't go with Grant at large out of this game. No, they will. LaPorte showing
Yeah, a little mix-up there.
big confusion.
And so, 1-point game.
So
Slicers lead.
Zach Bragg will play big after playing guard for most of this game, most of the year.
And Oakley tried to finish down low.
A lot of contact.
Carson Crass goes up, but it's fouled on the way.
Carson Crass going to the rack. You got to love it. LaPorte needs free throws. Every point counts. Every possession counts. That's what LaPorte needs to preach right now.
Crash short on the first.
I mean, little things like this is what determine games. I mean, you might not look at it because third quarter, 5:32 left in the game, but we got to hit these free throws.
And Crass makes a second.
Carson Crass with his 5th point of the game.
Lozenick. He hits Weber.
Nick Anderson in the corner.
Weber dribbling around. Oakley.
They missed him.
Hits Anderson in the corner who pulls up mid-range. Can't get it. Doesn't even hit rim. Oakley went up and finished it yet again. He's really showing up in these last few minutes.
Oakley with 10 points.
Osowski pulls up for 3 and switches it. Nothing but
Quick
nylon. And that is what the Slicers needed to give them that 3-point lead. 34-31. And we see the Slicers trying to implement that 2-3 zone on Lake Central. And it certainly worked when Lake Central did it, but the Indians are still able to penetrate with Oakley down there. It's a timeout on the floor. We'll be back with you in a moment here on Slicer Network. Back here on Slicer Network.
And as you saw in the last post, if you were paying attention, LaPorte fans has an ESPN booth set up with some of the other LaPorte Slicer athletes, which include the baseball team, looks like it appears, with a nice showing.
Yeah, really trying to show out for the senior night tonight. The band and the student section.
Something new too. LaPorte, I've never seen it here in this gym, so it's something new. Gotta like it.
Yeah. Indians bring the ball at the court. Weber hits Anderson, who tries to penetrate, and he does. Throws it up, gets it to go.
That looks so smooth by Nick Anderson.
Yeah, that was a nice
Talon for his
floater
13th point of the game. Let's shoot.
Garrett out large. Hits Osowski, who tries to feed it in. Kick ball on the Indians. Remains Slicer ball. And that's Grant Gresham. Inbound in it. Crass hits Garrett out large, who passes it around.
Carson,
Osowski hits
Garrett go in the
Crass.
corner. He's open.
Garrett thought about it. Jab step launches.
Oh.
In and out.
Good look for Garrett. I mean, he's got 11. He's got 11 points, so I mean, for Coach Benjamin, he's knocked down that shot consistently all year, so he can't be mad. Kind of taking a hard three, but I mean, Garrett out large. I mean, he can do it.
Crass straight to Garrett out large. He tries to put his way up, but can't. Stuck under the basket, gets blocked.
Yeah, he was just stuck under the basket. Good move, just not the right.
Anderson driving strong, lays it up again, and draws the foul this time.
Nick Anderson is showing his elite scoring presence. You might see Micah Spat go into the game. Maybe.
And Spat standing up.
I don't think he will go.
No. He's certainly a defensive force that
Yeah,
the Slicers
last
need right
game,
now.
Lowell on Tuesday night, Micah Spat shut down Chris Mantis. And Chris Mantis, he's only a junior at Lowell. He's almost to his 1,000 career point. And they're playing tonight, and he only needed 20 for a 1,000 career point. And Micah Spat shut him down after he put up 33 last year as a sophomore against LaPorte.
Speaking about 1,000 career points, Garrett is about 100 points away from his 1,000. Mason Schroeder tries to go up, draws the foul, but can't get the bucket. In that runner and free throw.
Nice pass down low to
Anderson gave
Mason
down.
Schroeder. Trying to bully his way up there. And he gets the 2 shots.
That runner and free throw on the other end gave the Indians the lead to make it 36-34, Lake Central. And Schroeder makes the first.
Mason Schroeder with this first point of the game on senior night. Mason Schroeder also plays baseball. So if you're interested in watching LaPorte baseball, I mean, he's one of their elite pitchers they have.
He makes the second as well. Much improved from his previous ones in the first half.
Lake Central drawing up a set play. Looks like they're going to Nick Anderson.
Patra passes it around to Clayton, who tries to drive in. He hits Anderson out, who launches it.
Nick Anderson can flat out shoot the ball. I mean, and as you can see, Micah Spat is checking into the game. I mean, you got to have some answer for him. I think Micah might be the guy.
Garrett launches it in and out from the corner.
Kind of an off-balance shot.
Yeah. Kind of forced there when the Slicers could have
And I tell you what, Nick Anderson's just making it look easy now. He's showing no fatigue at all, and he's just scoring the basketball.
And it's tipped away by Garrett, who spins around, goes up, and can't finish.
Nick Anderson goes for the ball. And he has 3 fouls right now, so Coach Damanistic, sorry to pronounce your name wrong. I mean, kind of a silly play for Nick Anderson, but hopefully he realizes he can't do that again.
And a new game, new face on the court for the game for the Indians is number 42, Jack Mahoney. a 6'8" sophomore.
Micah spat on Nick Anderson.
And he
That's
tries
charge.
to play help side. And
Blocking foul, Micah spat. Looks like he was in position. I guess the ref saw otherwise.
And he had his glasses knocked off for that one. Heavy hit here as he tries to take the charge. Might have been set.
Number 30, Mark Lisnick, going to the foul line. Trying to score his first points of the game.
Losinick. Misses the first.
I think LaPorte needs some fireworks right here. Garrett out large play or Grant Gresham with a dunk, and just LaPorte needs some kind of spark.
A great board by Grant
Look up for
Gresham.
transition, Garrett. Carson decides otherwise. Garrett out large.
Crass penetrates, and he gets his bucket.
Good move
Right
by
up
Carson
the middle.
Crass, 7 points.
Yeah, great pass fake there.
He
to
had
get his
shooters,
way
but
to
he
the
liked-
basket.
They slow it down.
Now LaPorte's back to a man because Micah Spat is here to deal with him. And that's an easy bucket.
Backdoor
for
screens are
Castro.
killing Grant Gresham.
Most
Lake
definitely.
Central is exploiting that.
And number 30, Milozenic is checked out for Jerry Edwards. Crass throws it out to Garrett to inbound it.
Garrett out large, shouting for the basketball. Now they give it to their point guard, Carson Crash. Port really hasn't done anything off this 2-3 zone. Hopefully we can draw up a set play.
Garrett out large shoots it from the corner and is short.
Garrett out large, struggling late.
Clayton with the rebound. Edwards bringing the ball up.
Lake Central slowing the pace down. They're playing in right into their hands.
Oh, and Gresham gave him too much, and Castro tried to drive on that.
Good D by Micah. These 3 possessions he's been in, he's really shut down Nick Anderson.
Yeah, making him pick up his dribble. Capped away by Grant out large. Garrett picks it up. Carson Crass pushing the ball down with strength. Grant out large pulls up from the corner and gets it to go.
Grant out large ties the game, 41-41.
With 45 seconds left
And that
in the third.
Grant out large's 10th point of the game. Solid effort from him coming off a 23-point game against Lowell last Tuesday night.
Spat trying to give his own lesson onto Anderson.
Nick Anderson kind of looking a little frustrated. Really haven't seen that because Mike Spat has been all over him.
And that's a timeout by Lake Central.
Probably to draw up a set play with his last 27 seconds left in this third quarter.
Yeah, and both teams have 4 fouls. With the timeout on the floor, we're going to take a short break here on Slicer Network. We're back here, Slicer Network, 27 seconds left in the third. Lake Central possession.
Lake Central might come off a set play here. Look for Anderson in the corner. He wasn't there.
They hit Katra out deep. Anderson finally gets the ball.
This might be isolation ball.
He's trying to cross Mike off, but
Bad
Michael's
almost
standing
goes
his
down on
ground.
the play.
Spat gets beat. Anderson takes advantage. Goes up.
And that's 4 fouls on Nick Anderson. That's big play by 44 Grant at large. This simple thing right here. Now they got to pull Anderson. That's a great play by Grant at large. Coach Bennett has to be super excited with that play.
You see a little talk there between Anderson and Grant at large. I wouldn't be too happy if I were Anderson either. Star player, racking up 4 fouls.
I mean, Anderson's got to know. He's got to pull up in transition there. I know he had an open lane. Fortunately, he did not.
10 seconds left in the third. Crass picks up his dribble, and he launches it from 3. And gets it to go!
That's a big shot by 22.
Left him wide open, and he made him pay.
Carson Crass 2 for 2, not in his last 2 games, hitting 1 against Lowell.
And that gave the Slicers the lead with a Carson Crass 3 ball, 44 to 41, here at the end of the third. You're watching Slicer Network. Back here on Slicer Network to start off the fourth quarter. Slicers leading by 3, 44 to 41.
And for Coach Bench, he has to be pretty pleased with that effort. I mean, we outscored them by 1 point here in the third quarter. And we've been leading all 3 quarters, so hopefully we can hang on and lead the fourth when it matters.
Slicer basketball. Crass dribbling around the arc.
This point in the game, it's really who wants it more.
Garrett launches it, bricks it, and Grant at large came up with the ball. And drew the foul on his way up, so that's going to be 2 shots for Grant at large.
Coach Bench shouting at Grant at large, be a beast, be a beast. I mean, that's what Grant at large needs to do. He needs to take over this game, which he has definitely the capability of doing, which starts hitting these foul shots.
And he makes the first.
Grant at large's 11th point of the game. And don't be surprised if they give Grant at large the ball down low next couple possessions. He's really been dominating.
And he's short on the second. Piotrowski came up with the rebound. And Edwards as he brings it up the court.
LaPorte leading 45-41, 7:30 in this game.
And LaPorte's back to 2-3 zone without Micah Spat as he's put back on the bench.
LaPorte rarely goes to 2-3 zone. I mean, without Nick Anderson, with Nick Anderson being off the floor, I can understand why.
And the Indians are having a tough time penetrating as well. Just as I say that, Oakley cuts in and gets fouled.
He almost just stuffed it on Garrett and Grant. And here's a replay. I want to see this one. Woo! He almost just dunked on both of them.
Yeah, standing at 6'4", that's definitely plausible. He can't finish the first free throw. We'll see on the second.
Nate Oakley has been off and on. I mean, he missed his first 3 free throws, made his next 4, but he's missed his last 2. So, I mean, it's really...
He gets a second.
Nate Oakley's 11th point of the game. Really been a huge contributor in this Lake Central game.
Yeah, cutting along baseline to get those easy layups down under the basket.
LaPorte taking their time.
Garrett out large,
Nice
drives
pass.
in, kicks it out to Osowski, who launches it, and breaks that one.
That's got to go. That's got to go.
And that was secured by Oakley.
Garrett out large might be unfortunate. That wasn't a charge there. Looks like his feet. LaPorte still in this 2-3 zone with Nick Anderson on the bench. I wonder when their coach is going to go to him.
Oh, and they feed Oakley again. And he throws it up there for a nice 2 layup.
That's Oakley's 13th point of the game.
Yeah, he's really taking control down low. And Gresham tried to go up with a no foul called. They thought it was a pass.
Gresham's got to be strong on that one. Take it up like you own this place. That's the mentality he has to have. He's a freak of nature. He's just got to use it in the right way.
That's Clayton and Edwards.
Lake Central being very patient with the ball, looking for a perfect shot.
Yeah, they're really taking their time here. And it's tipped away by Garrett Large. He's pushing it early. And he gets the right-handed layup with the foul. And that certainly riled up the crowd here in Slicer Gym.
That's big time by number 2-4, Garrett Large. Senior on senior night, making big time plays. You gotta love it. That's Garrett Large's 13th point of this game. And don't be surprised if Garrett hits a couple threes right here. Usually when Garrett does something like that, he starts getting hot. So be ready. I'm just saying, be ready for this.
And he makes his free throw.
For Garrett Large's 14th point of the game. Nick Anderson checks back in the game with 4 fouls.
You see Micah spat.
Let's see
Anderson all the way on the other side of the court.
Let's see how aggressive Nick Anderson plays, because with 4 fouls. Let's see if he tries to attack or is he just going to settle.
And it's tipped away again by Garrett Large.
Lob time.
Lobbed up to Gresham, who is fouled but no call. And they call a foul on, I believe, Carson Crass.
I love the play. Garrett Large just has to throw that a little higher, just a little higher.
Yeah.
That would have been some big time Sports Center top 10 highlight right there.
Oh yeah.
Instead, Lake Central has the ball.
It's a 4-point lead for the Slicers.
If I'm LaPorte right now, if Nick Anderson goes to the cup, step up and take a charge. Try to get that 5 foul.
Good screen by Oakley. Another one. He pulls up, can't get the 3. It's tipped around by Garrett, who hits Carson and is fouled by Kyle Bloom. And that puts the Slicers in a bonus.
That's 5. That's 5 on Kyle Plum. Really kind of an off night tonight. He had 1 point. He's usually averaging like 10 points a game, so kind of an off night. Hopefully he can bounce back in the future.
Yeah, and the Slicers are pretty lucky as he shot 44% from the 3-point line.
Really struggled tonight. Really struggled tonight.
And Crass makes the first 1-1.
Carson Crass talent for his 8th point of the game. And you see Coach Bench has to be internally pretty excited. A great close-up on Carson Crass. Going through his free throw routine.
And he's short on the second. It's tipped out
LaPorte
by
Slicer
the
basketball.
And Garrett Large is down in it.
This is a pretty exciting game, just like the JV one.
And he hits Grant.
Nice shot fake.
Up, and he goes in for the layup.
Great move by Grant Large.
Great shot fake there to get his way to the basket.
He's got 13.
They hit Oakley in the corner, who feeds Katra for an easy right-handed
Grant
layup.
Gresham has been beat 4 times on that backdoor play. You gotta, like Coach Benz is probably stating, you gotta talk. Micah's gotta talk on that ball down. When Grant Gresham goes around, either switch or fight through it, because LaPorte's done nothing to stop that. And if I was their coach, I'd go to the rack. See that in the replay. Grant Large doing Grant Large things in the paint.
Beautiful drive by Grant Large. And with this turn of events, that puts the Slicers with a 5-point lead, 51-46, 4:35 left in the game.
So for Isaac, what do you think the key, and what do you think Lake Central's coach is saying to them in the huddle right now? Like, what's the big factor that Lake Central needs to do to win this game?
I mean, offensively, they definitely need to catch up, but they've been being beat in transition, so I think just better passes, just being smarter. But they look fatigued out here, just throwing sloppy passes that's costing possession for the Indians.
It's crunch time basketball. I mean, it's crunch time. This is where teams are really made. This is where, like, I'm not going to say seasons are made, but, I mean, ultimate games can, like, one team's going to be 1-0 and one team's going to be 0-1 in the conference tonight. Teams have the hopes of winning a conference title someday. And this really sets there's a little different tone about this game than past previous games for both Lake Central and LaPorte.
Yeah, this definitely sets the stage for a conference title with opening conference play tonight. Slicers last won a DAC title in 2003. Lake Central won their only two in 2012 and 2014. Grant shot fake, drives in again. He puts it up, can't get it. And great play by Grant Gresham.
That's heady basketball right there by Grant Gresham, throwing off the opponent's knee. And as you can see in the replay, contact, but there's no call.
Passed in to Grant at large, it goes up, and it doesn't fall. But he goes again, no call.
Physical
and
basketball right here. Everyone's on the ground.
Pushing it is Lake Central. They go off.
No charge call.
No call.
It's high basketball right now.
And Anderson can't make the three-pointer.
This is some physical basketball. I like to see this. LaPorte doesn't get the call doesn't get the outcome they want though. It's physical basketball. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Refs letting them play. It's getting physical.
Yeah, with 3:57 left in the game, you have to be scrappy for these final points to win the game.
This is where the big boys come out to play. I mean, let's see who's bigger and stronger. Let's see who wants this more. That's what it's going to come down to.
Here's Oakley shooting, and he makes his first.
That's Oakley's 14th point of the game. Really solid night for him. Nate Oakley usually doesn't get the starting job, but due to injury, he does tonight, and he's really putting on a show.
And Micah Spatz coming out of the game.
Offense or defense right now.
And the board is by Lake Central converting.
And we talk about it, big time, strong place. I mean, Lake Central just bullied us right now.
Grant at large posting up, but Garrett pulls up for three. Can't get it. Board by Grant at large, goes up with the foul.
And one. Grant at large lets a little smile out. He is dominating down low tonight.
And here's a replay down low from Grant at large.
Grant at large just
going
and
up.
one.
Getting smacked across the arm, but still getting the job done.
Grant at large has 15 points tonight. Look at him. He is sure fatigued, and he's fighting for LaPorte. And Coach Kyle Bench has to love that because he's fighting.
And he makes his free throw.
Big.
For an old-fashioned
two-possession
three-point
game.
play.
Grant at large looking at his eye. Hopefully he'll be okay. Really got to gut this one out.
Yeah, it's a scrappy game down low tonight. Anderson pulls up from three. Swish. Making it a 1-point lead for the Slicers with about 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Nick Anderson's the real deal. He's got 24 right now and just taking over.
Crass goes up, and it's just short. Rebound by Grant at large, who gets fouled going up.
Grant at large was wide open on that play. Grant at large is really taking over right now. The sophomore on senior night, really playing his heart out. And as you can see the replay, Grant getting this rebound.
Going up strong.
Using his strength.
Knowing
getting
with
two
three
shots.
guys around him, he can draw that foul. That's just smart there.
Grant at large is the lead and scored tonight with 16. Hopefully he can tally more on these free throws. The first one's good. He's got 17. Nice outing by Grant at large. And LaPorte does end up to win this game. It really got to look at Grant at large effort.
And after that foul, LaPorte's in a double bonus.
Grant Gresham tried to end the Rim's career with that one. But unfortunately, Coach Bench called timeout before the play happened.
And that is a score of 55-53 for the Slicers lead. Cole, what do you think the Slicers need to do here with the final 3 minutes of the game?
We got to look at Coach Heiss, their strength coach. He's got to look and say, who wants to be bigger, who wants to be stronger, who wants to be faster, and who wants this more? Like, it comes down to those simple four things. You can throw out basketball out of the order right now. You got to work, who wants it more? You just got to want this game. And I got to be saying, don't get caught on backdoor. And you got to stop this Nick Anderson. He is tearing us apart right now with 24 points. And really, if Lake Central does win this game, I mean, Nick Anderson, he's got to be the player of the game.
Yeah, even with his, I believe, 4 fouls, he's still contributing to the team. Speaking of that toughness, we have Micah Spat checking into the game. And that's Crass inbounding the ball. Change of plans.
I think it's
Garrett.
a design three-point ball by Garrett. He'll come off a double or the single. He comes off the single. He's open.
But he drives in instead, goes up strong, and gets the layup.
That's big time by Garrett at large right there. We talked about strength. He just showed strength and tally his 16th point of the game. And Micah's back into this game. I mean, we got to have an answer by Nick Anderson. And Micah's back into this game to stop him.
Yeah, and the Indians are trying to draw up something as this new defensively oriented team of the Slicers is coming onto the floor.
LaPorte really needs to get, owned. This is what we're about. 2:45 to go. We're up 4 at home. Let's see what we're really about. Let's bring it. Let's come out of this timeout, clicking all cylinders, just running crazy like LaPorte. 2:45. I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to do anything better at night at home. So give everything you have, everything that you ever thought, all the motivation. Let it come into it.
Yeah, and LaPorte really needs to increase their toughness here tonight, their grit. They have to get loose balls. They have to get those rebounds. And you can see down low, an example, Grand Out Large is really fighting for it down low, getting rebounds and buckets. And that's what the team has to do.
50-50 balls, really, I mean, they determine a lot of ball games. 50-50 balls. Let's see who won Lake Central versus LaPorte. Whoever gets the more 50-50 balls, I mean, is going to win this game tonight.
And here, Indians ball. Anderson inbounding it.
This might be a design three-point ball coming off a screen.
And
Let's see if he comes
Contra
off
out.
it. And it is.
There's Anderson who pulls up.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
gets the deadly dagger.
Nick Anderson is just on fire right now. LaPorte has no answer.
That was a tough shot.
That's his 27th point of the game, and he's absolutely on.
Garrett pulls up for an answer. Can't get it. Hasn't been able to convert too much this game from three-point land. Gresham comes out on to Katra, who missed the three.
I don't know why he's shooting right there. I mean, you got Nick Anderson. I'd give him the ball. LaPorte into 5-pass. Mike is not open. Back up to Carson. 1:56 left to play. LaPorte up 1.
And they call a travel on Carson Crass.
Really unsure where Carson Crass is going on that play. He's got to be more smart. 154. Every possession matters. Every possession matters. He's got to be more smarter with that play.
Got to have eyes on the basket. They're playing great defense around the rim, so you just got to hit those mid-ranges and get the job done. That's Oakley.
If I was
on
Lake
the
Central,
elbow.
I'd be looking for Nick Anderson.
And Anderson
And you got to
does
guard
have
him
the
out
ball.
there.
He drives in, pulls up, and gets the bucket with the foul.
Nick Anderson is proving right now he's the best player in the gym, and he's letting everyone know he's the best player in the gym. Nick Anderson, 29 points, has literally taken over this game. Nick Anderson, man, this kid can play. Trying to go for his 30 points of this game. Superb free throw shooter.
That put the Indians up by 1. And he misses the second.
He's frustrated with that one.
Micah Spat checking back into the game.
Really need these free throws. Last 2 minutes of the game, last 1:30. We got to hit free throws. It's simple as that. This has sure been a good barn burner game. It's Nick Anderson versus LaPorte. Really been taking over. It's been an exciting game to watch for sure.
That's Grant out large for the free throw. Sinks the first.
That's Grant Out Large's 18th point of this game.
And that ties it up at 58.
LaPorte going defense, offense. Mike's bet Ethan Osowski right now.
And he makes the second as well, giving the Slicers a 1-point lead.
Big free throw right there by Grant at large. Up one. And and if I was Coach Bench, I'd be throwing a double team at this guy.
Yeah, Milosinic cutting around. Can't get it.
Garrett. I'd be throwing a double team at him. He is
That's
on
who you
fire.
want the ball to be with.
Oh my gosh.
He pulls up from 3, and it's short.
He had big contact on that. We got lucky on that one.
Krass pushes it up strong, and it rolls off the rim. But still an opportunity to get these 2 points from free throws.
That electrified the crowd. And one. Get up 3. I mean, it's going to be an exciting ball game in the final 1 minute in the game. Let's see who wants it more. It's about heart.
And there's that instant replay of Carson Krass going up, drawing the
He
foul.
knows it was right there. He was right there for that and one. He's got to step up and hit these free throws.
And he makes the first. Putting the Slicers up by 2.
That's Carson Krass's 9th point of the game, and he needs this one. We got to be perfect down the line.
And he makes the second.
Big free throw right there by Carson Krass. Coach Bench calling for a timeout. And Isaac, I'm going to give you an easy one. Where would you be going if you were Lake Central?
I'd be putting the ball straight into the hands of Nick Anderson because he is deadly from 3 tonight in the second quarter.
He is
second half.
tearing LaPorte apart. If I'm LaPorte, I'm throwing a double team. If they come off a screen and Nick Anderson's open, you got to throw a double team at him. If they get a 2-pointer, they get a 2-pointer. But I'm not going to let Nick Anderson beat me in this final minute and 2 seconds left in the fourth quarter. In a really close ball game.
And there is some live feed of the Slicers huddle as they try to plan how to deal with Nick Anderson for the Indians.
I'd be picking him up full court. No, he's on the block.
Yeah, they're entrusting Micah Spat to defend Nick Anderson, who...
Your best defender. This play's got to be designed.
And that's tipped out by Carson Krass. Taking 7 seconds
Coach
off the
Milosinic
clock.
I bet it's going to either, on that play, he's going to come here. Nick Anderson comes across like the top of the key and scores the ball.
And he does get the ball. Guarded by Micah Spat. He's dribbling around, trying to cross up, get an open look. Can't. Milosinic dribbling around.
He almost shot that one.
Piotrowski.
He cannot let Nick Anderson touch the ball. Do not let him touch the ball. Lake Central really calm. Can't let him touch the ball.
Pulls up Anderson. He's short. Krass with the rebound.
I'd be giving this one to Garrett.
Yeah, I'd be slowing it down, too.
Get it across half court, hold it. Be strong with the ball.
And they do foul. And LaPorte's already in a double bonus.
Lake Central got exactly what they wanted. I mean, a pretty decent look by Nick Anderson. He just misses it. Got to be frustrating for him. I can only imagine. Garrett out large, taking a deep breath, needs these free throws.
And he does
Big
make
one.
the first.
That's Garrett out large's unofficially 17th point of the game. The Out Large brothers are really taking over, combining for 37 out of LaPorte's 62 points in this game.
And
Big
he
free
makes
throw.
the second as well. Stretching the Slicer lead to a mere 5 points with 23 seconds left in the game. Pulls up crazy from Anderson. About gets it, but Grant Lawrence pulls down the board. Garrett Outlaw.
Micah calling for the student session to get hype. That's the best shot Nick Anderson's going to get. I mean, like, if you may look at that as a bad point, I mean, the guy's got 29 and he's really taken over this game.
"17 seconds exactly left in this game. 63-58 LaPorte.
44, Nate Oakley fouls out of this one. Good day from him with 14 points in his first start as a Lake Central Indian. Look. both the large brothers have 19 in this one.
In addition,
And it's going to stay like that.
and this is the second. Oh!
Lob,
Large
lob.
gets the ball. And Gresham on cleanup through. Putting the ball back in the cylinder. That's 4-3. Steal by Crest for the Slicer win.
LaPorte is excited. Big time win. Late in this game, LaPorte showed who's stronger. And that's what happened tonight with a 66-58 victory over the Lake Central Indians.
What a great night, senior night, here in Slicer Gym, LaPorte, Indiana.
LaPorte guts one out again here in Slicer Gym and just wins a huge game. Coach Bench has to be super pleased with that.
To start off 1-0 in conference play against the Lake Central Indians.
Nick Anderson has to be heartbroken. Played his heart out, just not enough for LaPorte. And leading the way tonight, first for the losing team, Lake Central Indians. I mean, the big guy on campus, Nick Anderson, 29 points. Nate Oakley contributed 14, going with Jaden Clayton 7, all in the first half. Graham Weber's 2, and Kyle Plum's 1. And for the winning 66-58 LaPorte Slicers, the at-large brothers both had 19 points, combining for 38 of the 66 LaPorte points. Carson Krass had 10 with a elite day at point guard. Gresham tallied 6, Ethan Zasky 4, and leading the way out, Mason Schroeder with 2 points.
This was really a hard-fought win by LaPorte tonight. Great win for the Slicers. You've been listening to Slicer Network with your commentators, Isaac Chezem and Cole Raymond.
Have a good night, everyone.